right, we'd like to welcome in Sam Breen. She needs no introduction, but A10 Champ, A10 Player of the Year, and most importantly, dog mom to Turbo, who has also joined us for this interview today. And thanks so much for joining us, Sam.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I'll get the most important question out of the way first. How is Turbo doing, and does he travel with the team, or does he have a sitter back in Amherst?
Turbo is doing great. Unfortunately, he doesn't travel with us. But my sister is a freshman here, so she's going to be watching him on most away trips, except for the one she's going to come to. And then on those, he's either going to have another dog sitter or go to a pet hotel in the area.
Nice. Yeah, Turbo's has a big online presence as well. A lot of
Oh
fans too.
yeah.
So I wanted to make sure we got that most important question out of the way. But yeah, so obviously last year you had an amazing year, both as a team and as an individual. You probably could have gone, anywhere as a graduate student after last year. What did that kind of look like, and why did you decide to come back to UMass?
I mean, honestly, it was kind of a no-brainer from the get-go. As soon as I knew I had my 2 extra years before last year, I kind of knew I was taking them here. Um, I just have been really happy since I came here. Good relationship with Coach Birdie, Coach Loeffler, Coach Lynn, Coach Steve, like the whole staff and my teammates. And knowing everyone was coming back, it was definitely a no-brainer to come back here and try to repeat, knowing we can do exactly that and go even further than we did last year. So I think it was always the intention to take years 5 and 6 once I knew I had them. And then last year, obviously winning the A10 just made it that much more apparent that I was going to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's obviously excited to have you back. And so you're in graduate school now. Do you have just 1 year left with that, or do you plan on staying around after that? Or are you going to try to play some pro basketball in the meantime as well after this year?
Yeah, so actually I ended up finishing my master's last year. So right now I'm in two certificate programs.
Oh, well.
Um, so finishing those up in the spring. And then um after that I do intend on playing professionally somewhere. I'm excited for that, obviously, and I feel like it'll come quicker than I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
We'll kind of deal with that when it gets here and just enjoy my last few months in college, which is crazy to say. Being that it is my 6th year, should have maybe happened a few years ago, but saying that I'm almost done with college is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's great. You're getting so much done, both in the classroom and on the court too, and being in a great position when you're done. Obviously, we'll miss you when you go, but we're looking forward to the next couple of months and seeing how the team does as well. Back to basketball with the trip to Tennessee. Obviously, that was a big one, and you guys kept it close. I was following, before the men's game that was at home. How was that experience playing in that big time arena? Was that kind of the biggest game as an away game you've been in the UMass uniform so far, just because you were number 5, or was there something comparable to that?
Um, I think it was, I'd say it was probably the biggest away game being that it was at their home court. Last year we played Iowa State. I can't remember what they were ranked when we played them, but we played them on a neutral site down in our tournament in Florida over Thanksgiving. And that was a huge game, but being at Tennessee's home gym, having their home fans, and they got a good turnout. I would say it was definitely the biggest, and they were the highest ranked team we've played. And hanging in there with them, obviously we got in a little hole in the third quarter and then was able to bring it back to a 5 point game. So I think that showed a lot about us and our resilience, but just playing to that capacity in a setting like that, we could have really crumbled once we, got down as much as we did. So I think that showed a lot about us, and it was just an exciting place to play in regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. We were rooting for you the whole time, and glad you guys kept it close. We were hoping for a win, but I know there's a couple more t- challenging games on the out of conference schedule too. I think coming up, there's that tournament you guys are going to. I think you have Arizona State and Mizzou lined up.
Mhm.
Is that a tough tournament as well, or what's the field looking like for that tournament before you get to the conference schedule?
Yeah, I think that'll be some tough games. And then even down because we go to Miami as well. So and then even tomorrow we play Harvard, who's pretty high caliber team. So we got Harvard. And then down in Miami, our first game is Drake, who they just played Iowa State in a really close game. And then depending on that outcome, whoever we play the second game will be a good game regardless. And then once we go to Arizona, um, two more tough opponents. So I think our non-conference schedule this season, regardless how we end up doing, because we know we can play with everyone and are definitely looking to pull out a lot of those wins. But regardless how we do, it'll prepare us for the A10 season.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the conference schedule definitely looks probably the toughest it's been since you've been at UMass, and the
Yeah.
toughest I can remember it too. So I think Coach Verdi and the administration really set you guys up for success, and then possibly NCAA tournament wise too. Don't want to talk too early about that, but also I think
Right.
that's important to have that strong schedule. And then in terms of the A10, I know you guys were picked kind of as the overwhelming favorite. Is there pressure associated with that, or how are you going to approach the season? You can approach it the same way as you always do, or
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely pressure that comes with it, but I would say that we don't feel it as much as people would think. Just coming in, having almost everyone back, only one person graduated last year, and then we have some newbies. So having everyone back, we know what we're capable of, and we're just kind of going to approach it that way, do what we do, not really step out of who we are. Which I think that's one thing that some teams might do. They might get uncharacteristic, try to do too much, but I think we're just really trying to say who we are, stay systematic. We kind of harp on that every day and control the controllables and be consistent with that. And focusing on all those little things day by day will lead to our eventual long-term goal.
yeah, absolutely. That A10 slate should be great, and looking forward to getting some games, and hopefully other people in the area will show up as well, both the
Mhm.
men's and women's. It will be tough when the students aren't here and for a longer break this year than normal, and in January. I think it goes into February even, but
Yeah,
definitely be important to have fans get out there. Hopefully, some fans will show up to the Harvard game too
for
on
sure.
on tomorrow. So we'll release this before tomorrow as well. And then in terms of like changes in the building on the men's side, obviously, Frank's in the building now, kind of an imposing figure, kind of an intimidating figure, at least to me. I'm never in the building, obviously, but have you noticed any, changes in the building since Frank has been around, or any changes on how, the men's team is interacting with you guys, or just overall, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Martin, he's like awesome. I've talked to him a lot more this year than I have to the coaching staff in the past on the men's side. He's super personable, and I feel like him and Coach Verdi are pretty similar in the structure that they want on the team. Just in terms of like taking care of all the little things in the class and the community, all that stuff, and really building a relationship with the community. So I feel like they go well hand in hand and mirror each other pretty well. So I think that's a pretty awesome duo to have for Massachusetts basketball. But yeah, Coach Martin's awesome. See him all the time. Turbo likes him, so we love that. But yeah, he's awesome, and I'm really excited to see what they have. I know they play today down in Myrtle Beach, so hoping they get that win. But I expect big things from them as well. Being I know it's only his first year, but I feel like he's really putting something special over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually down in Myrtle Beach right now, so I'll be
Oh,
going over
really?
the game after this. So I'll cut up this interview and post it, then go over to the game. I guess they're playing Colorado, who's supposed to be
Mhm.
pretty tough. So we'll see how that goes. And then on to like the NIL side of things. I know that you have some NIL deals currently. Is that like tell us about those if you don't mind, and just how those came about, and then what do you think is the future of NIL? Is that something that is super common that you guys discuss as players, or with recruits, or what's that kind of the atmosphere around NIL now at UMass on the women's side?
Yeah, I mean, you guys obviously were my first NIL deal, so I appreciate you guys reaching out as soon as the NIL was
Yeah,
passed.
absolutely.
And I feel like for us, I mean, it's obviously a blessing. We're not a Power Five school, so I feel like for us, it's more of product and like food and that kind of stuff than maybe the, you know, big sponsorships and just getting paid. So I feel like we benefit a lot more in that sense, but anything that we get, we're really appreciative of. And I think winning the A10 gave us a little bit more of an edge to try to pitch to people that we would like NIL with. And I think it's still a learning curve. We're not the most knowledgeable about it still. So I think a lot of people on our team are still trying to figure that out and how to pitch it because not everyone's going to ask us to be part of an NIL deal. So I feel like us advocating for ourselves and pitching it in the right way could be really helpful. So I think just constantly learning about that too. And we don't talk about it as much as maybe we should. But I think now that games are starting back up and we start to see how talented everyone on our team is, I think they will start to pick up a little bit. And then as you get more into A10 play and stuff like that, I feel like it's bound to come. Um, Even if it's not necessarily publicized as well either, there are little deals happening within our team for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely be in touch from the collective standpoint too. I know there's a lot of individual members and business members that we're going to be starting getting involved with both the men's and the women's team. So we're excited about that and partnering with you guys as well. But yeah, I wanted to thank you so much for your time today, and good luck against Harvard on Friday. Is there anything you'd like to add or say to the UMass fans before we sign off?
Um, Nothing more really than just we appreciate your support, whether you come out to games or not, come out to games or tune in. We definitely feel the support. And just hope to see you guys at some games.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there soon myself, and we'll encourage other fans too. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.